Holy shit. Game 6 is done. Leafs win it 4-2. They're past the first round. They're on to play Florida in the second round. And here we are, a late, early morning, tarps off episode of Sticks in the Six post game notes. Why not do it like Willie? Why not do it like Stolars in the post game today? Yeah, here we are. Leafs winning 6. Peter had Leafs in 6. Me, Andrew, had Leafs in 6. I would be lying to you if I said I wasn't panicked prior to this game after 2 losses, going up 3-0. I knew it wasn't going to be a sweep. I didn't want to sweep. I didn't want to sit at home for 2 weeks, no games, no hockey. The boys, you know, taking it easy before a series against the Florida Panthers. I didn't want that. I also didn't want it to go 7 because we know the Leafs' recent history in Game 7s, and it ain't pretty. So, as you know, the hope was that come playoffs, we'd be doing a post-game show each and every game of the playoffs. As you can tell, the voice is still a little rumbly. All week I've been fighting this, trying to keep my voice. So we're going to make this a quick episode, a couple minutes, just talk about the game, break it down, talk about the Leafs getting past the first round for just the second time in over 2 decades. And like I said, we're going tarps off today. That's the way Willie does it. It was his birthday yesterday. He scored 2 goals, including the empty netter. And what an effort on that empty netter. Forget Nylander scoring it, but what a fucking block shot by Scott Laughton. He was able to get it done. That's why we brought Laughton in at the deadline. Yeah, it was a hell of a game. It was a hell of a game. It was a roller coaster by every definition of it. Roller coaster of an emotion. You had the ups, you had the downs, up 2-0 to start the game. Tie game with 5.5 minutes left, only to have the vet himself, Maximus Pacioretty, scoring the game winner. Also assisted on the second goal for the Maple Leafs, primary assist on that second goal. The guy had 7 hits. He was a healthy scratch to start the series. He fought back from so many injuries over the last couple of seasons. And the guy still got it. Yeah, like I said, 7 hits in the game. Pacioretty, we talked about this last episode as well. What the Leafs need to do to get going. Depth scoring, play with physicality, play with force, get to the pucks first. They were terrible tonight. Terrible at getting to the pucks first. That said, they got one from the big guy right off the top. Austin Matthews needed to get that goal. Obviously, I mean, I think we're crazy to think that he meant to just run it along the ice. It was 1,000% a pass to Matthew Nyes in front of the net, but got past everybody. And sometimes those are the ones you don't have to shoot it hard. You just have to shoot it on net to get it done. He gets it done. He gets a goal in 18.5 minutes. He had a hell of a game. 3 shots in net for him as well, along with 1 block shot and 3 hits. And then, of course, Max Pacioretty, a goal and an assist, a +2, 13:49 of ice time. The guy had 7 hits, 1 block shot, and 2 shots of his own. And he got it done. Now, this whole series, there are things that we can break down. There's things we can talk about. Obviously, you wanted to see a little bit more offense from the guys, from the likes of Pontus Holmberg. Bobby McMahon was held scoreless. Johnny T had some big moments. Obviously, Simone Benoit was big in the early going. The defense played fairly well for the most part. They had some hiccups, and obviously, goaltending, was always going to be a question mark. Especially with Stolar starting 6 games in a row for the first time in his career. the fatigue factor was the main thing. Now, Stolars came up big in this game. 21 of 23 shots saved, only gave up 2 goals and a 913 save percentage, way better than games 4, game 5. He came to play. He's a gamer. He's a guy that wants to get it done. And that was good to see. Again, we want to see a little bit more offense from Domi. Marner kind of died off in the tail end of this series, but still came up with a big assist in this game as well. Steven Lorentz is doing his job. He had 4 hits. Believe it or not, Mitch Marner had 5 hits in this one. So for all you Marner haters, for all those, this is the crazy part about Leafs Nation, and I actually work with a guy who said, like, I talked to him. He normally comes to work dressed up, and he's got his hair done up in blue, and he's got his Leafs jersey rocking, and came to work today, had a game 6, no Leafs jersey. The hair wasn't done, it was flat, not even brushed. And I said, "Yo, what's going on? Like, why aren't you, in your regular playoff getup?" And his response is like, "Leafs are done. They lost the series. It's over." And there was a part of me that was like, I want to kick this guy in the dick if they win, just because, like, I don't want to see you celebrate a win after you're gonna have that kind of lack of confidence in this team. Was I nervous? 1,000%. I'd be lying to you if I didn't say I was nervous going into this game. When they tied it at 2, did I panic? Did I get frustrated? Did I say, "Here we go again"? Absolutely, I did. But I always had faith in the fact that this team went up 3-0. There's only 4 teams in the history that have come in the history of the NHL that have come back from 3-0, and it wasn't going to happen to the Maple Leafs in this series. There was no question it wasn't going to happen. It was just a matter of when they were going to get it done. And it just so happens, would it have been nice to get it done at Scotiabank Arena? Absolutely. Instead, they go on the road, they go to Canadian Tire Center, and they get the job done. That's the biggest thing. They get the job done. It's a 6-game series. Peter called it. I called it. We knew it was going to go 6. And the thing we have to talk about is that we have to credit the Ottawa Senators. This wasn't an easy series by any means. We knew it wasn't going to be an easy series. Neither one of us, even the listeners that were listening to that episode, neither one of us said that we wanted Ottawa in the first round. We all said Tampa. And look what Florida did to Tampa. They knocked them out in 5. And we knew Ottawa was going to be a tough opponent. They've got a strong core coming up with the likes of Batherson and Pinto and Kachuk. Obviously, Allmark, when he gets into it, we saw it. He turned it on in the latter half of this series. He got into the zone and he was able to get things done, and it worked out for him. And he had a hell of a second half of this series. But you got Sanderson, you got Shabbat. That defensive core. Artem Zub is a super underrated defenseman in this league right now. It's just all the credit to Travis Green and the Ottawa Senators. They played the games within the game. Now, special teams played a major role in this series as well. Some calls were missed. Some calls we didn't like. Some calls Travis Green didn't like. The power play that the Leafs scored on in this one, they went 1-for-1 on the power play today. Matthews scored on the power play. Obviously, it was a close one. It was a close one. Kachuk finished his check on Brandon Carlo. The refs deemed that it was late, gave him interference. I mean, you be the judge. You be the judge. There's going to be people out there that like the call. There's going to be people out there that can't stand the call. Regardless of what you think, I mean, the officiating has been inconsistent right across the board all playoff long. So Anyways, I think we're losing connection a little bit there. This is truly going to be an after dark episode here, as we lose the lighting a little bit. Anyways, yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. Uh, Let me see if I can get things going here. Anyways, yeah, so it got at the end of the day, the Leafs won in 6 games. They're going to be looking to take on Florida. Leafs will have home ice advantage in this series as well, so that's going to be huge, especially with the crowd, the way that they've been through this the the first series as well. They were able to find a way to get things done for the Leafs on home ice, so that was huge. Outside of that, I mean, big shout out to Matthew Brady Kachuk for everything that he did in this series. He did exactly what he was required, exactly what was required of him. The guy played 19 minutes through this one, had 8 hits. It came down to blocking shots, and I think that was a huge piece for the Maple Leafs through this series. They managed to out block the Ottawa Senators, and it ended up being a bit of a game changer. 16 to 11 for block shots in this one. Leafs had 23 giveaways, but they also outdid the Ottawa Senators in takeaways as well. Um, it's going to come down to moving forward. It's going to come down to staying disciplined as well. I think that's something that we talked about last episode with Steven Lorentz, saying that when it comes to discipline, the Leafs, it's not just about making sure that they don't take penalties, but it's about making sure that they don't yell at the refs, because that can change the outcome of games as well. So that's a big thing. Thank you to those who are just joining us for this in the dark. We're kind of losing power here. We already lost the internet. We're having some technical difficulties tonight, so not impressed. But anyways, um, before we kind of close out the episode, just a quick word from our sponsors over at DraftKings Sportsbook at the Hockey Podcast Network. The NBA 82 game grind is done, and now the real fun begins. The NBA playoffs are here, and it's time for all the high stakes drama, clutch moments, and jaw dropping plays. I can't wait. If you're looking to make the playoffs even more exciting, DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered. As an official sports betting partner of the NBA, try placing a bet on your favorite player's performance. Will they drop 30 points, 40, or more? It's your call. Here's something special for first timers. New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Make it a playoff run to remember with DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas. 21 plus, age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario, new customers only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Well, it's going to come down to a full team effort when the Leafs do take on the Florida Panthers in the second round. Hits, winning puck battles, depth scoring, defensive scoring, all of that is going to be important come the second round. The Leafs were able to squeak out this win. It was a tight series. This entire series was tight. Overtime games. This was really a 1-goal game with the empty netter from Nylander. But for all those that truly believe Leafs Nation is broken, and I am one of those. I do believe Leafs Nation is broken. The fact that we watched them go up 3-0. They lost game 4. The panic set in. Game 5 comes around. They lose that one 4-0. And all of a sudden it's fear. It's pure fear and disappointment and anarchy in Leafs Nation. To those who have lost faith in this team, take this as a step in the right direction. Take this as a moment in which you can fall in love with your team all over again and start to believe in the fact that they can get it done in tough situations. It wasn't an easy series. Nobody in their right mind could have looked at this matchup on paper and said, the Leafs are going to blow this one out of the park. Ottawa's not a good team. That was all false. We knew it was going to be a tough series. Anybody who watched Ottawa this season knew that the young core that they are building in that city is exciting. It's exhilarating. It's going to make the Atlantic that much more difficult. And they had the Leafs number this year. This season they went 3-0 against the Leafs in the regular season, and they put up one hell of a fight come playoff time. But with all that said, to the Leaf fans who stuck through it, to the Leaf fans who are here tonight and will be here again tomorrow, and to the ones who have burned their jerseys, remember, the Leafs are in the second round because they stuck together. They played as a team, and in one of the toughest markets, with the media where it is, with the coverage of the team the way it is, the pressures on these players, the Matthews, the Marner, the Nylanders, they came out to play in Game 6 after losing 2. And it's like Matthews said in his postgame, even after Ottawa tied it with just under 6 minutes to go, all that they needed to do was go out and play their next shift, because that's what was going to win them the game. Not worrying or dwelling or fearing what came next or what would happen if they lost. Rather, taking the moment and understanding that this is a team that can get it done. This is a team that can play in those tough situations and figure out a way to win games. And that's exactly what they did tonight. The Leafs take this one 4-2. They win against the Ottawa Senators in round 1 in 6 games. They're headed to the second round against the Florida Panthers. It's going to be another tough one, but it's going to be one hell of a series. And us here at the Sticks and Six are looking forward to covering it and sticking with you as the playoffs continue for our beloved Maple Leafs. As always, make sure you hit up DraftKings. Use the code THPN in the description below for the episode. You can also check out SeatGeek for tickets to any sport or concert. Check out BioSteel for 20% off on your order. And as always, make sure you tune in to the Sticks and the Six podcast. Make sure you check out what we've got coming for you next, as we expect to have some guests on this week. So we're excited about that. And as always, we'll leave you with that and a Go Leafs Go as we head into the wee hours of the morning with a little Alex Hobson 25. Go Leafs Go. That wasn't for me, no. All I've got is my seagull guitar.